Okay.
You talk?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing one two
right.
three. Alrighty.
Oh, we're live. Yes. Yes. You ready to, do you want to, so you were asking what the pod is?
Yeah, I just asked you, what is this? What's the purpose of the podcast?
Um, I think the purpose is to get good at talking to people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like an awkward person at all?
Yes. I feel like a tremendously awkward person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Do
tipped
you,
you off?
what tipped me off? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
What makes you think you're awkward?
Being around people and being awkward and making them feel uncomfortable.
Oh, okay, that.
Especially the Lincoln Lodge.
Lodge is weird though. Yeah, it's different.
Why do you say?
I'm North Side. Like I hang out at Laugh Factory. I don't hang out at the Lodge. So when I'm there, I'm like, this doesn't really feel like home to me because I'm not there that often.
Laugh Factory is even scarier than the Lodge to me.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. I feel comfortable at Laugh Factory because I do know the people there.
You
Like
just chill in the green room?
yeah, I chill in the green room, so
Damn.
it's relaxing. Yeah.
I just never know what to say to people.
I don't think there's ever a right. I think people are afraid to like express themselves and like show them and like make mistakes for some reason. Like I think there's like an addiction to like anxiety nowadays. So
An
maybe
addiction to anxiety?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Like we have like what 80 emotions inside of us. For some
Something
reason
like that.
we always like focus on anxiety. Like we like it so much for whatever reason.
I think it's easy to default to anxiety.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like you're overdosing on one emotion, you know?
Yeah, it's also, is anxiety an emotion?
It's
Or a
something.
feeling? What's the difference between a feel? Is there like a doctor's chart with like the smiley, the frowny?
There probably is. I think when they diagnose you for autism, they put like, "Hey, which emotion do you feel?"
With, like, the
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah, yeah. It's
There's
like-
a Down syndrome little guy.
Yeah, there really is. It's like, oh, which one do you
Yeah,
feel?
there probably is.
I'm like, huh, all right.
Where on this spectrum do you
Yeah.
think you are?
It's
It'd be
like-
funny if you had to just self-diagnose yourself in front of the doctor.
They probably, I don't, dude. I'm not a fan of doctors, so they probably would do that
You're
nowadays.
not a fan of doctors?
No.
Well, let's get into that. What about like witch doctors?
Shamans, if that is what you're talking
Dude.
about. Like I believe in the spirituality of all because like that's kind of my culture and like my background. Like my great granddad, he was a shaman. Then he was a very good one. He was the best one in like our community. So he was able to like buy a farm with everything. Everyone respected him, and that farm that he bought, it's still passed down like in my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of shamanic rituals did he do?
So there's like good magic and there's bad magic. So bad magic is like catching, like you can cast spells against someone like hexes and like put curse on them. So if you ever just feel itchy for some reason, like that's a common spell.
So if you're really itchy,
Yeah, you just
someone
finding
cast a spell on
you're just finding weird spots on your skin. It's like red or bumpy for
You know
some weird
Jackson
reason.
White has scabies right now?
I didn't know. I know.
Someone cast a crazy spell on him. Dude. I'm gonna tell him that next time I see him. But like,
Yeah.
you might have made some enemies.
No, it's possible. Or like
Yeah.
you're just like you're just feeling down. Like some things are just not going your way. Like it's a real thing. Like there's I don't know how much you want to get into it, but there's
I would
like
love to get into it. I just got climbing shoes called the Shamans. And also, no, I seriously, I have read. That is true. They're called the Evolved Shamans.
Okay.
But also, I've read a bunch about. I'm obsessed with El Dorado, and like the city of gold in the Amazon, and all the. I'm reading right now about like the first European voyage all the way down the Amazon, and a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like there was literally just a scene I was reading about where they were getting pursued by all these, by this like, they were down the river and like for hundreds and hundreds of miles there was this one kingdom that just had like thousands and thousands of warriors that was coming after them, but the Spanish had like guns and crossbows, a bigger boat, and armor. So even though they were like famished, way outnumbered, they were still holding their own. So then the natives started bringing out shamans onto the edge of the water, and they started like blowing smoke and like ash into the air and like cursing, and putting hexes on them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I want to talk about it. That's my point. Also, I love lacrosse. And that's even though you said that's not even the same thing.
I know one guy played lacrosse, and that was a Native American dude. He was big and stocky, and I'm like, this is not my sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I want to talk about really quick before we get back into shamans is I feel like for other sports, it's like you're like, oh my god, that team has like a black kid and you're scared. For lacrosse, it was a Native American kid.
Oh yeah.
It's the only sport like you'd play a team, you'd be like, they've got a fucking Native American dude, and I just remember like whenever I would play somebody who's Native American and they would shoot on you. There was this one clinic I went to, and this one kid just had like the craziest shot, and I was a goalie too, and everybody was just terrified of this kid, and he would look through you when he was shooting on you. It was very terrifying, and it felt like it was like his way of getting payback for all the stuff that happened.
No, it's real. That's he probably felt that because we don't like white people too much.
It's understandable, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
I love them.
there are. It took me a while to like.
She's white, so
Caitlin Clark.
yeah. But anyway, keep going.
It just takes, there's just like a lot of bad blood with it all, So I know a lot of natives who are like, they're like saying, "Oh, I'll never trust a white person" or whatever. And it took me a while to like even be comfortable like around them, honestly. But like when you're talking about playing on sports, that's like our moment, because people don't realize like Native Americans, we're big people. Like I'm the shortest one in my family. Like I'm 5'9" ish, but all my men in my family are like over 6'1". They're like 220. The girls are my height. Like my family's huge.
You must be pissed, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think my mom said she dropped me or my brother when we were like babies, but she's not sure which. So I'm guessing I might have been the one who was dropped.
Yeah, she dropped him sideways, so he got taller but lankier.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, so I get that. I guess.
So you just didn't grow up around any white kids?
So the background for me is I grew up in Arizona, and I was be on and off the reservation. Like during the summer, that'll be my brother. My mom would send me and my brother there to be with our grandma. So let's be on the farm and with my grandma there. But that's because she was like working during the summer. Because my mom went back to college and she was like 28 years old, so she just didn't have time to like take care of us. She was working like 3 jobs and doing school, so it's like, ugh, that's too much. So me and my brother just be on and off the reservation every summer, but during the school year we'll be like go to Flagstaff or like we'll be in Phoenix or Mesa. So I knew white people existed, but just like
you saw them, you just didn't interact with them that much.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because it's there's more Native American people, especially in Flagstaff, even in Phoenix. But there's a lot more Mexicans. Yeah, so a lot more brown people, and like when white people are a minority, it's like you don't think about it too much.
That's good, I guess. Those kind of like sounds like a haven.
Yeah. But it's like then when I moved to Colorado about when I was 10 years old, then it was like all white people. Then I was stuck with like the Filipino kids who was there. So that's why I just kind of like, I basically became Asian when I came to Colorado. Because they're like, oh, that's
An
the closest.
honorary Asian?
It's true, yeah. Because like they took me in as their like brother. I'm like, all right, I guess this is where I am now.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I got one of my best friends growing up was a Japanese guy named Tsuyoshi Watanabe. We called him Robin, but we don't wear our shoes in your house. So I learned that from him because his family always took off their shoes. Like they have like a little placemat for it and everything. And it was really cool. But yeah, I was around a lot of Asians growing up. So
when did you start to realize that not all honkies were bad?
See, that's a tough question because there's always like, I know there are good people in the world, and it's probably reading. Yeah, like maybe reading Harry Potter or maybe reading Catcher in the Rye was really good. They're reading about 1984. So I don't know. You just see like different perspectives of the world, and like they're talking about like different problems. So I think that it really opens up your mind because whenever you read, I'm a big reader. Like it does 2 things. It makes you change your perspective, like in the world, and it just allows you to like understand words and language. And like the authors I was reading, like they're white authors, so they're using specifically different things, and then you're finding out, oh, this guy's kind of boring, this guy is kind of interesting, but in how like they talk, you're like, oh, I feel like I'm really understanding this person. But I don't know, reading's different. I think I was probably more on the quiet side growing up, looking back at it.
You just be by yourself reading?
Yeah, I was that. I mean, I had my group of friends, but it wasn't a lot. I didn't want a lot, but it's just like I just interacted best with like minorities in general. So when I was in high school, my first girlfriend, she was from Africa, so like East Africa and everything. Then I had Filipino friends. Yeah, one was half Native American. Yeah, it was just a lot of minorities. Yeah, then the white kids were like the really nerdy ones who were like I was friends with. Yeah. There's a kid named Steven Crosley. I remember
Shout
that.
out Steven.
Yeah, he was just this really lanky kid, really smart, but he was very stereotypical, like a dork from the 80s. He had like
Glasses.
yeah, big rimmed glasses. He had the bowl cut on his head, and he was like just very intelligent. He'd always be with the book. And I'm like, I like this guy a lot. Yeah, he's just super kind. Yeah, so I think it's kind of the people I gravitated toward, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Did
Yeah.
you play instruments or sports or anything?
Sports. I did long distance, but I was in speech and debate. That's kind of the big thing I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that sort of what got you into stand up? Also, what does your family think about stand up?
My mom's really supportive of it because I feel like as long as you're making money, and you can take care of yourself. That's all
Sure.
your parents really care about.
Yeah.
Because I got my degree in engineering, so like I did my job. She's like, okay, he can make a living. So like after that, after I graduated college, I'm like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want now and like really figure out what that is. Like I like engineering and everything, and like there was a big motivation for me to do it because I wanted to like help people. But then it's like I spent all my time doing that, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't finding out stuff I really enjoyed doing in life.
Mm-hmm.
So after like I graduated my degree, I'm like, all right, let's just try doing that other part now. So
Did you know that it was going to be stand up though, or did you after you got your degree try a couple things and
I did one open mic like for stand up back in college, but it was just one time thing. Cause I'm like, oh, I think I could do that. Then it went poorly or whatever. But I didn't do it for like 8 more months. But I was just really big into swing dancing at the time too.
nice?
Like
Dude.
I'm a really good dancer. So
I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that.
yeah, people are always surprised whenever I say like I'm a really good dancer. Yeah.
You seem like someone that would be. Don't take offense to this, because I feel like I give off the same energy.
Yeah.
But based on watching you on stage, I would have thought that you'd be somewhat stiff. That you'd have very, very dishonest hips.
Dishonest tips. Yeah, I can see that.
Hips don't lie. Yeah,
Tips don't lie. Is that what you said?
my hips don't lie. I always like to say my hips are very honest. 'Cause
Yeah.
They don't lie. But so I thought yours were dishonest.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. But you could cut up a rug.
I don't know what that phrase means, but yeah, I can cut up a rug.
It's a racial.
It
It sounds like one. Though.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it sounds like a Turkish slur. No, it just means that you can dance like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty good dancer. I'm good. I know some salsa. I need to take more classes with that, but I'm really good at swing dance. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
have you employed that on women? Has that?
I mean, I met like a lot of women just from dancing. Yeah.
That's a good ass introduction.
Yeah.
And then you're, okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever? And then we'll go back to the shaman thing.
Oh, I
but
forgot all about that shaman
Have you
thing.
ever? I'm keeping track. Have you ever met a girl and then danced with her and really hit it off? Had like a good physical and psychological connection, and then you guys got into a relationship or into the bedroom, and then how did that transfer? Because I'm very curious.
Oh, like it's like that phrase, "women relate dancing to sex," whatever.
What?
Is that what you're saying?
Wait, what?
Is that old phrase like women relate dancing to like sex? Like
Yeah.
how good a guy in the
Well,
bedroom.
I feel like dancing sort of is like a innuendo.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I'm like very when it comes to like sex, I'm definitely very on the shyer side. Like that's some part of myself. Like I'm in the
Shirt
past
on?
couple of years. No, I take it off, but it's just like it's something that it took me a lot longer to like feel more comfortable doing. Yeah, because like it's just I don't know. It's like I feel like how do you think about sex? Like how do you view it?
I view it well when I'm having sex. My human brain sort of deactivates and I turn into like a primal half man, half wolf
Yeah.
being that snarls and says really crazy things, and then after I finish, I look in the mirror and I am horrified by what I've become, and I have to just like pray it away.
Oh my God! Yeah, I
But also,
okay.
no,
no,
that's
no,
not
sorry,
true,
sorry.
that's not true.
I didn't mean to like make you feel like that wasn't welcome. I'm
No,
like,
no,
oh
I-
yeah,
I-
yeah.
I make sweet,
I get
sweet,
that.
passionate love. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
So it's like it's creating love for you. That's what sex is to you.
Yes, and I can't do it with people that I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
See, that took me like a long time to like understand. Not that I was like sleeping around or anything, but just like, oh no, I really need to like feel safe doing this.
Totally.
Yeah. So like when you talk about, oh yeah, he's a good dancer and everything. Yeah, there's that part. You'll create chemistry with that, but it doesn't if I really don't trust someone, like my mind is very easily like compartmentalizes dancing from like actual sex, because I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel like me right now. I feel too bare and like vulnerable.
Mhm.
So like it freaks me out too much.
That's funny because I would rather have sex in front of a room full of people than dance.
Yeah, in my opinion, more guys are afraid of dancing than they are public speaking.
Dancing is the most terrifying thing that you can do. I mean, singing I think is a level above dancing.
Yeah.
Like truly, like trying to sing in front of people, but like
Mhm.
dancing and letting yourself go, I'm incapable of doing it. I can't do it in any context.
Would you like dance by yourself at
Yeah,
all?
I dance by myself a lot.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
or like if I'm with a girl and we're in a relationship, so it's like normally like you wait for sex. For me, it's like I'm waiting to when I can dance in front of them or with them in the kitchen or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like now we're off. I can
Mm.
like la la land with you at night, but
Dun, 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 dun,
exactly.
dun.
Yeah, but up until that, I'm just like I cannot show you this side of me, and I just can't do it in front of other people. I can't.
Mhm.
It's I don't know why. It's crippling.
No, it's very common. I know people like we're insecure for like a lot of reasons. Dancing for some reason, guys really feel awkward around doing that. It's like they're not used to like expressing their body in that way, like for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it just feels like so. I feel like when I watch people, first of all, I feel like a lot of people say that they're nervous to do stuff like that, and then you get into a club
Mhm.
and you see everybody doing it,
Mhm.
and you're like, and then you're like, well, now I feel like an outsider because I'm the only one who's not comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
And then there's also, and this is the same with singing. With stand up, I really don't think there's anything arrogant about it, but unless you have that demeanor.
Mhm.
But whenever I see someone like truly like try to sing or dance, there is a part of me that's like, you think you're so fucking great, don't you? You think you're so cool right now.
I don't. I
But
see.
that's what I think
yeah.
people think of me when I do it.
Oh no! Like it's just you're just
'Cause I
in
think
the
that.
you're just in the moment. That's let it take you.
I
Like
can't.
honestly, like you gotta surrender. People are afraid to like surrender and like let go.
Dude, I remember I was in Barcelona with some buddies of mine.
You're talking about okay.
What?
Barcelona?
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it was very very on point.
What?
I don't know. We were just talking about these guys. They think they're all that. Then you say Barcelona.
Barcelona. I'm sorry, I'm respecting their traditions.
No, I mean go ahead. It took me off guard. So
Well,
like,
sorry,
yeah.
that's how they say it. I have a
Yeah.
joke about it.
Oh, you have a joke about Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Okay.
It's the only place where Mike Tyson sounds normal.
Okay,
Ah,
okay.
pretty good.
That's solid.
All right. Anyway, so
So
I was in Barcelona.
You're in Spain, yeah.
Also, it's just funny because they're like the hottest people in the world. You start in Madrid, and like literally you walk around to every corner, into every place, and it's just unbelievable how beautiful the women are. And then you get to Barcelona, and they all have lisps, and you're like, whoa, they're so hot, but you have a lisp. I've been trying to do a bit about it for like a year, and I just can't really get it to work. But anyway, so we're in Barcelona. We're at a club. I was super drunk, and I just remember standing there with a drink in my hand, and the song playing was the one where it's like let go of your inhibitions, and I couldn't do it. And it was just banging around in my head of like a person singing with music behind it telling me to let go, and I could not do it. And all my friends are like, dude, just relax, just dance. And I ran out of there, and I walked back to our fucking hostel at like 2 a.m.
See, when you talk about, you said you're a passionate lovemaker. I actually,
Very, yeah.
when I think about dancing,
Extremely.
that's how I think about like how passionate someone is.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel like you don't dance or you don't like dancing or you can't do it, I feel like you're not a passionate person.
Damn, dude. I
Yeah.
can't believe you'd come at me and say, I have to make love to you now. I have to, like, kiss you on the nape of your neck and be like, what do you think now, Damon? I disagree because one of them is in public and one of them is in private.
Yeah.
And it's easier to do it when no one else is watching.
Yeah.
I mean, also there have to be some people who are very good at dancing and who are just duds, right?
I think even if you're a dud, it's so much fun. Yeah, if you're like I've seen people like on the dance floor, like in swing dancing, who are just they know they know how to dance, but they're just going for it.
I have a friend like that. Shout
Yeah,
out Michael Pavsik. He just
E-
goes crazy on the dance floor. I
exactly.
respect it, but I'm just like, how do you do this?
Yeah, and like that, like people don't get like it's just energy, it's just and it becomes infectious. You just like want to be around it all the time, and it's like, gosh, it's such a good time to do it. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean
You know
that.
what I think happened?
What's that?
I think someone put a hex on me when I was younger.
Well, you probably didn't dance when you were younger, right?
No, dude, I used to go up to people and I used to be like, "Do you want to see my happy feet impersonation?"
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
do the happy feet dance.
Aw,
It's so gay, right?
that's so cute.
Yeah, but then, I realized it was bad. I was God, I remember when I was like 6 years old or 7 or 8. I used to do that to like. We got a babysitter who was like 16, and when you're like 8 years old, you're like, "This is a woman."
Yeah.
And I remember with my dad, like him introducing me, and I was like doing the happy feet dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I was doing the happy feet dance, I was like, "She's not gonna fuck me." Maybe I didn't realize that, but I did have a realization of like, ugh, this is kind of juvenile what I'm doing. But that's also from a Dancing Penguin movie.
Yeah.
Slightly different.
Just sounds like you scarred yourself saying, "Oh, people aren't gonna like this," so that's why you don't do it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to psychoanalyze you right there.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I've done it myself. I can't get past dancing. Anyway, so shaman. So how did because I've also read about religion and the origins of religion, and shamans are pretty big in that.
Okay.
And a lot of the shamans had to go through some pretty crazy trials and tribulations to become a shaman because of how much power they have.
Okay.
So did your grandfather have to go through some crazy shit, like pierce his penis or something?
I don't know about the circumcision type thing, but honestly, I don't know how my great granddad became a shaman. I just know that he was, and he was like very much like respected. And all the shamans I know, like they give you blessings. They
Mhm.
burn some sage, they do your rituals, you chant with them, you like drink some water that has like some herbs inside of it, and you really do feel better. Like it's more like of a spiritually cathartic release inside of you, like people who like do ayahuasca. You usually have a shaman there to help like guide you through like what you're seeing. And nowadays, like people have like mushroom therapy, which they're guiding you through like your experience. I'm like, oh, that's been around for like thousands of years. That's like
Mhm.
nothing you knew, but like they're just now creating it like in the medical field.
It's about time.
Yeah,
Would you do that?
mushroom therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go to a shaman for like and do ayahuasca.
How do you
But
find shamans?
they're everywhere. Yeah.
Like on Yelp?
I don't know about you. I don't know. I'll call my family member. They're like, yeah, we have like probably 5. So yeah.
I feel like you have the connections to the shamans, but
Yeah.
like, how could a layman
Just
such
ask.
as
I'll,
myself?
yeah, I'll hook you up with the shaman. I don't know the ones like over here, like in the Midwest. Like that's just different to me. But
Chicago shaman?
Chicago shaman
Dude,
or
they
like
make a killing if they just set up in a super urban environment.
there probably like is like one around here. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I want to know it because I don't know. What they do up here or like how different it is. I'll be concerned if I don't trust a shaman because it's like they're speaking a different language, that you don't understand. So like you should really like know what they're saying.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it could go poorly
That
very
could go
quickly.
so
Yeah,
south.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Because
Uh,
my mom she got into a fight with the shaman.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
not a good thing. And he
Ugh.
was like he was literally saying I'm gonna curse your whole family. So then she had to go to like another shaman, and they had to like do a whole. It was a whole thing, but
Only
it's
way
like
to beat a shaman.
yeah, you have to get
Go to
another
another
shaman.
shaman.
Yep,
Fuck.
that's exactly it.
That's brutal. Are the shamans allowed to have sex?
I mean, my great granddad was one, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. I mean,
Yeah, they
he
make a
could've
living.
Turkey
Yeah,
basted it, but yeah.
yeah. I think they're like. I mean, they're just like a spiritual leader.
Because if you went through a breakup with a shaman, that's got to be.
No.
Oh, I feel like that's bad juju to break up with a shaman.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's just people being people at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess.
There's psychos in so many forms, so You should know that you're gonna find out soon if someone's a psycho. I guess you know.
Unless they're really good at hiding it.
See, that has not been my experience. You know, like people reveal each other. Like the more you just like people tell you so much when you just ask them a question.
That is true. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
And if you just don't judge them.
yeah, like
yeah, it's pretty insane how quickly people just say wild shit.
yeah, like they want to open up. Like we live in America, dude. Like we're so closed off that we're kind of desperate for like friendship and connection. It's pretty crazy. Like
Desperate for friendship and connection. What do you mean?
yeah,
As an American.
yeah, absolutely. Like
Why do you say that?
because I was in Senegal. I did study abroad there when I was like learning French, and a stranger would just come up to you and you just like have a conversation for like 20, 30 minutes. They just want to know where you're from, ask about you, see how your health is.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's like very nice. It's very cordial.
But you're a tourist there, right?
Yeah, there's that, but it's like yeah, complete strangers, and they're just interested about you, and like it wasn't just me. You would start looking around, like oh, they're doing that with each other. Like there's like such a strong kinship with like people saying, oh no, I solidarité. That's like the word, like solidarity. It's like if we're in this together, I just want you to know, like I'm here for you. So we don't really have that in America unless you're part of like some group, and I think people try to find that in like I don't know, probably through desperation through like other groups, like you become very political or you become like a proud boy or maybe join the clan because you want your community, you just want some of that love, that connection.
Yeah, of course. And we've all tried to join the clan at one point or another. um, I actually somewhat disagree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a good amount of camaraderie in America, especially like East Coast, like New Yorkers.
Okay.
It's like the whole fuck you. But at the end of the day, like if 9/11 happens, we're all kumbaya.
Yeah.
We just need another 9/11.
I feel like New York I feel like New York is its own country though.
Yeah, well, that's what's cool about America is like I think it's almost like Europe in the way that like states have their own individual identities, especially the East Coast.
Okay.
The Midwest is sort of like homogenized, but the coasts, the Midwest, and then the West Coast, they all have like different personalities.
Yeah.
Like California, and then even just in California, like it's such a vast, like north, central, south. Same with New Jersey. But it's like every spot, but
yeah, I feel like New York or like maybe East Coast where people are like very direct and like honest and upfront with each other. I think that's kind of what you need.
I think it's the best.
I think that's the best approach to like talking with a stranger or talking and like communicating with someone.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't like the gray area.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Midwest. I do think people are very nice. Yeah, and people talk about the Midwest nice, like oh, it's a secret nice. But I'm like, I kind of seen that edge of it.
Secret nice?
Yeah, the secret nice.
What do you mean?
I forgot you even told me this, but it was like, oh, there's like it's like a fake niceness in the Midwest. And I like, I've been to Denver, and I've seen that one's like talk about homogenized. That's like 98% white. So that's like what I grew up around. And I'm like, I kind of see more of like the fake niceness there, maybe because I'm around it more. Whereas here, there's a genuineness to it. Like winter is coming,
Yeah, that's true.
There's kind of that attitude. Like when the winters are terrible, it's like, oh yeah, well, I actually do care about you, fool. Whereas in Denver, like the weather's pretty good. Like it's 200 days of sunshine and everything. So
I didn't know it was that good.
Oh yeah, no, beautiful. Like a lot. When I came to Chicago, like everyone. I met some people, and they all me ask, "Hey, my friend just moved to Denver." It's like, "Why'd you come here?" I'm like, "Cause I live there."
Yeah.
So like we're just like flip flopping places.
But I mean, Chicago as a city is way better than Denver.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a big city, and there's just so much here.
It's a big city.
What I'm surprised by, people don't take advantage of the city. Like they literally just stay in one spot of the city the entire time they live here.
What do you mean?
Like they won't go south side. They won't go to Bronzeville.
Oh yeah.
They won't go to Brynwood. They won't go to Cicero.
Even my own roommate doesn't really go to much of the city.
Yeah. Like, have you been to Devon Street yet?
Devon Street?
Yeah, in Rogers Park.
Oh yeah, Rogers Park. Yeah.
Yeah, but Devon, like, 'cause they have the best like Indian food, like Southeast Asia, South Asia.
Not, dude.
Yeah.
No, I can't
Oh my
handle
God.
that.
No, dude.
I would explode.
No, they have some
No,
for you. They have like a
Nah,
butter
you-
chicken, and it's like I'm telling you, dude, your tongue will melt
I
with how
can't
good it
eat
is.
Chipotle steak without tearing up, dude. Okay, I however white you think I am,
Yeah.
crank it up to 11. My intolerance for flavor is pretty insane.
Well, are you a yogurt guy? Let me ask you that. Oh
I'm
well,
also a picky eater.
do you eat like a dairy at all?
I eat a shit ton of cheese.
Okay, well, just I'm telling you, like the key to eating spicy food is to have a lot of yogurt. You need dairy because
Dude,
it balances it out. And there's like
I'm just
there's
gonna shit
probiotic.
myself so much.
No. It calms you. Like you don't like the
You're
dairy.
just trying to trap the white man right
No,
now.
I'm not. Well, the dairy it neutralizes the spice because like when spice is really like it's like little spikes that's getting stuck in your tongue. That's what it is. But the dairy actually opens up like the pores of the tongue and like allows it to come out. Like that's like the science behind it. And it's like it's good for your stomach, so it's helping you in two areas. So you have to have like dairy or yogurt. Yogurt in particular with like spicy food.
I do Trix yogurt.
What's that?
You don't know Trix yogurt?
No, I know Yoplait.
The bunny Trix, Trix bunny.
It has a
It's
yogurt.
got like you open it and it's like a green swirl and a pink swirl.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious.
Sounds sugary.
Oh, it's extremely sugary.
Okay.
That's the only yogurt I've ever liked.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I like Oika's or Yoplait.
Oika.
Chobani's
Oika's
good.
Chobani.
Yeah, that Greek yogurt is really good.
Chobani.
Dude,
Chobani sounds expensive and fancy.
it's good though. Like it's 15 grams of protein in like this little cup. It's crazy. Like,
I
that's-
have no idea like how much 15 grams is.
it's
I
like
can't-
it's a good amount. Like a protein shake will be 20 grams.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like that much and that little thing. It's like yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, see, and it's like what $1? Yeah, it's
It's only $1?
Yeah, literally like
Even with the tariffs.
yeah, even with the tariffs, Greek's doing okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Greek already has it rough, They're not gonna make it worse for them. They don't have anything. They don't have anything to give.
They got Stavros.
A Stavros? I don't know what that is.
Stavros Halkias, the comedian.
Oh, Stavros. Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Stavy baby.
Yeah, my friend took a picture with him. He was in Denver.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that. They got Giannis.
Oh yeah, Antetokounmpo.
Oh, I was talking about Giannis Papas.
Oh, okay. You have the Caitlin Clark. Like I thought you were a basketball guy here. Are you?
No, I'm a huge basketball guy. I'm talking Caitlin Clark, Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver?
Yeah.
You don't know Kyle Korver?
I know who Kyle Korver is. Yeah.
Why are you saying his name like that?
I never heard someone say.
He's my favorite player of all time, right?
Is JJ Redick your second favorite player?
No, dude. I don't
Well,
just
that's
like
what I'm
white
thinking.
guys. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Well, that's what Kyle Korver does. He just like three. He just shoots the three.
See, what you're doing right now is you're taking someone and you're putting them in a box.
What else can he do? I know
Have you seen his off-ball movement?
he doesn't do a lot of that.
He spreads the floor. Dude,
He has good
are
spacing
you
and everything.
actually out of your mind? You don't think Kyle Korver has good off-ball movement?
I think.
Have you watched any tape at all, dude?
I know he can move. He's an NBA player, but like his main role was to shoot the three from deep. Like go in the wings, line up there, stay there, and then
What
just do
he's
his thing.
doing for the offense is not. It's not very apparent if you don't have extremely high basketball IQ, such as myself and Caitlin.
Okay.
But I'll shoot you some tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if he has a player like LeBron
Yeah.
that draws, and then he can spread the floor for LeBron.
Mhm.
Space favors the offense.
Yes.
LeBron can drive in. Now that player slides to LeBron. LeBron can dish out to Korver.
Yeah. Pick and pop. Yeah.
You play basketball?
Yeah. I play basketball.
Oh,
I played basketball. I did long distance.
What do you
yeah.
think about CC?
CC?
Caitlin Clark.
Oh, I actually want to see her play. I don't know. I think she's
We
exciting.
just got Haley Van Lith, dude.
I see. I don't follow the WNBA as much. Yeah.
That's really sexist.
Okay.
That's so fucked up.
And
Okay.
and
Never had anybody just say and to that.
Yeah.
Damn, no backtrack at all.
Yeah, no, I'll own it. Sure, if it's sexist, yeah, I just haven't seen it. It is what it
Respect,
is.
dude.
Yeah,
Way to own up to that.
yeah. I'm a flawed human being.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
people try to like hide their flaws.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I haven't seen a WNBA game in a while.
Next time I say something racist, I'm gonna be like, and?
Yeah, yeah.
So what, dude?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
flawed.
Yeah, that's true.
Get
yeah.
over it.
Yeah, I'm like, I rather have someone tell me that. It's like, okay, he's aware. You know.
Yeah. Well, so we just got Haley Van Lith
Okay.
for the Chicago Sky.
Yeah.
And we have Angel Reese.
Mhm.
Obviously, you know, my allegiance is with Caitlin, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is we're in the epicenter of women's basketball in the world,
I think that's true. Yeah.
where we are right now.
Yeah.
Currently, where we are sitting
Mhm.
within a 20-mile radius.
Mhm.
Well, let's extend it to Indiana. So something mile radius.
Yeah.
We have 3 of the best women basketball players in the world.
Okay. So,
Pretty cool.
So have you seen the game yet? Like in person?
Yes.
Oh, how was it?
Yeah, you didn't think.
How was the DePaul University Stadium?
No, 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 no. I went to a career fair.
What?
I went to a career. This is when I was trying to get a real job before I resigned myself to never having a real job, even though I'm back trying to get a real job. But I went to a career fair, and it was like for a bunch of like the sporting organizations, and it was you got like free Chicago Sky tickets with it.
Yeah.
That was how they got people to watch the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I like peeked behind the curtain because we were like walking around in the upper level, going to all the different booths and like pitching yourself. And then I like peeked behind the curtain to watch their warm ups, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. Dude. Like literally, it looked like they had like 3 guys wearing hoodies that didn't even have the logo rebounding for them. I watched one woman take a coffin corner 3 and completely airball it, and then I just closed the curtain. And I was like, damn. That was such a bad representation. that was sort of before the new wave of you know, sharpshooters and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when you have someone who's like really talented, it's gonna like bring
Dude.
people.
I
so.
think about every time I walk by a park and I see people shooting a basketball, I just think, if I, and I feel weird about this because I have talked about Caitlin Clark a pretty crazy amount, but
Yeah,
like theoretically, if I dated Caitlin Clark,
yeah.
if she just wanted to use me as a rebounder,
Mm-hmm.
I would do it. That would be like my dream.
Talking
As
about
my wife wakes me up and she's like, "We're gonna go to the park. I'm gonna shoot 100 threes, and you're gonna rebound them for me." And I'm gonna be like, "Can I take a shot?" And she's like, "Absolutely not." I would fucking love that.
no, I mean, if that's the dream, man, you got to pursue it.
I'm
Follow it.
trying. I'm doing so. Comedy's my way in, you know,
Yeah, I mean, okay. Does she have a boyfriend though, or something?
dude. Everybody brings this fucking point up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a boyfriend. Yeah, he's a D1 athlete. Yeah, he's like 6'4".
You're not a short guy. You're like what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Ooh, you think I'm 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, I think you're 6'2", right?
Folks at home,
Yeah.
I am 6 foot. 6'2", though. I'll take that. Most
Yeah,
people
yeah.
underestimate my height quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I give off short guy energy to women.
Oh.
A lot of women will be like, "What are you, like 5'9"?" And I'll be like, "No, what the fuck?"
I mean,
It's very hurtful.
I don't know about that. I mean, I stood next to you. I'm like, I kind of got a gauge for like how tall you are.
Well, it's
so.
because my neck is so long. I actually have the torso and the legs of a 5'6" man, but I have the neck of a 6'7" man.
Okay.
Isn't that wild?
Like, can you stretch it up all the way?
It's more like thick too, but
Yeah. No, you have like you look
Mine-
like you'll be hard to knock out.
dress
Honestly.
shirts don't close around my neck.
Yeah.
I can't wear ties.
You can't wear ties.
For graduation, I was the only one who didn't have a tie on, just because my shirt wouldn't close around my neck.
Interesting.
I know.
Okay. Do you fight at all?
No, but I have heard that they say don't fuck with a guy with a thick neck.
Yeah. You can't knock him out. It's impossible.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
the-
I feel like I'd be such a pussy.
Yeah. The guy with like one of the thickest necks in the world. I think there's like a story of him. He's this black guy, and he got into a fight with like 50 police officers or some crazy shit like that. I'm exaggerating, but like
I hope you're not.
Yeah, yeah. But like it was a mad, and they kept like hitting him, and like he never passed out.
Damn.
Yeah. So like no, you have that thick neck. Like you're not gonna.
What is it about
knock
the
out.
neck though?
It's just like from my understanding, like this sports science of it all. When you knock it here, like it destabilizes like like how much in terms of physics. So you know like a lever arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you push the lever arms, can create a moment. So moment is like a force times a distance. So and all that is reacting to like the brain that's inside of it. So you need something that's stabilizing this part of the chin so that you're resisting movement, and the neck is what stabilizes like your chin when it takes on like a force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I always figured that it was like also pretty just psychological, like how easily you got knocked out, like how soft you were.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but no, some people can take really big. Some people have like callous like chins as well.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which these MMA fighters do. They're ridiculous. I actually have a friend who like does Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a funny story. It's really sad, but it's kind of funny.
I love a funny, sad story.
Like he he has a bad relationship with like his dad and everything,
Perfect.
and then he was like doing some sparring with like this older gentleman. He's probably like 15 years older, has
Yeah.
a great beard and everything, and they were sparring. And my friend's a big dude. He's 6'2", probably 190. So he's like he does his first jab, and like the guy he dodges that second jab. He gets the guy, and the guy just like feels it. He hits him right in the face, but he doesn't even, his expression doesn't change. The guy just starts moving forward now.
Oh fuck.
And then he punches him again in the face, just starts moving forward.
Oh fuck.
He punches him again, and like this is all his force. He still doesn't move. He just keeps coming closer.
He's not
and
even
closer.
blocking the
No,
punches?
he's not even blocking the
Fuck
punches.
that, dude.
He's just hitting his face.
Fuck
and then
that.
he comes up, and then as he get close to him, my friend just has like flashbacks to like when his dad like beat him, and he just saw his dad's face in this moment, and the guy just like beat the shit out of him. And like my friend was just like on the floor in the fetal position, just like crying afterwards.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You're right, that is funny. No, that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's like the worst nightmare is you punch a guy and he just doesn't flinch at all.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And he just took the blows. He's like, hey, I've taken worse. I've seen 1,000 wars. This is not
Yeah.
gonna bug me.
Oh God. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear is like some people will be like, oh, you should carry a knife on you for self-defense. My biggest fear in the world, aside from great white sharks, is that someone will come at me and I have a knife and I stab them and they just look at me and then look at the knife and then they just pull it out and it's bloody and they just turn it on me and just stab me with the knife. I feel like if I got stabbed, they'd be like, oh God, and I'd just pass out immediately. But like just watching someone just like yank a knife out and then,
Yeah.
You know the scene in 21 Jump Street where they're all partying and then they're like, oh my God, you got stabbed. And he turns around, there's a knife in his bag. He's like, that's awesome. They all go crazy. That's my dream.
No, I like that.
I'll never be able to do it though.
I think if you have a knife stab, like someone's actually stabbed you, you shouldn't rip out the knife. You have to leave it in until you get to the emergency room.
That's one of those things.
Because
Yeah, I guess because it stops the bleeding.
yeah, it stops the bleeding, and also once you pull it out, that's when it rips all the blood.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so that's when it rips all the vessels. So right now everything is just like blocked, but that's good. It's kind of like it's a cauterization of sorts. But when you pull it out, that's when everything starts to flow out.
Mm-hmm. Can I
Yeah.
tell you a crazy story that you just reminded me of?
Yeah.
From my book.
You have a book?
No, I did write a book, but this is from the Spanish guys in the 1500s going down the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in this boat that they built. It's like 30 Spanish dudes, and they keep getting attacked by all these Indians, and they go into this one. Like for a lot of the Amazon, it goes from like peaceful tribes to then they stop at this one tribe that takes them in for like 2 months, takes care of them, feeds them, lets them build their boat there, and all this stuff. And then they're talking to the chief of that tribe, and he's like, "You keep going down the river, some violent motherfuckers down there."
Mm-hmm.
So then, flash forward, they're back on the river, and this one guy, he sees a really cool bird, and he goes to shoot it with a crossbow. And as he pulls the trigger, like a bolt breaks off the crossbow and shoots into the Amazon, into the water. And they're like, "Fuck, dude. We need our crossbows for self-defense. If we don't have we're down one crossbow, we're fucked." And then like 20 minutes later, one of them is fishing and he pulls up a nice big fish and the hook gets lost in the fish. He cuts open the fish to get the hook. The bolt from the crossbow is in the fish.
Oh.
So then they repaired the crossbow and then later on that crossbow saved their lives.
Damn.
How fucking sick is that?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought of that from the knife thing, but
I don't know. Sounds, I
pulling
like it.
out.
No, it's like the idea of like chance and like
yeah.
I like happy stories like that.
Yeah.
Kind of wish they kind of died.
Even
but
though
yeah.
they're conquistadors,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was getting like Heart of Darkness vibes. I'm like, how is this gonna end?
It's called River of Darkness.
River Darkness?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you
Heart
read,
of what?
I was gonna say, have you read Heart of Darkness?
That's the Moby Dick one, right?
No,
Wait.
no. Heart of Darkness is like when they're in Africa.
That's Heart of the Sea. Fuck.
Yeah.
Heart of the Darkness.
Yeah, I think it's Heart of Darkness. Yeah, it's like when some people are like exploring Africa, and then they just end up just going ape shit on like all the tribes there, and it's really like a bloody book. But yeah.
Well, that's one of the things you're talking about reading
Mm-hmm.
and learning from it. One of the things I've gotten from reading is that everyone sucks. Like in history, like people across the board are fucking. Like I was reading about the Mongols, and like a lot of the stuff under like Kublai Khan was like pretty egalitarian. Like if you were in their empire, like a lot of his rules were very fair, and if you followed in line with him, it was very nice. And he had like this thing where he would you could just line up at his palace every day, and he would just give out free bread every single day, which is. You don't expect that from a guy who like his grandfather murdered and like all this huge conquest and everything.
Yeah.
But they also didn't believe in like spilling an enemy's blood when they were executing them.
Mhm.
So they thought the humane thing to do was to fill their mouth with rocks and then throw them into a river.
Mm.
And then you're like, I don't know if that's humane. Or they would wrap them in a rug and then drag them behind a horse
Mhm.
until they died.
Yep.
And you're like, that's humane? Yeah, every culture has like a different idea of like what they think is right and wrong. I remember we were in Spain and we were in this big it's not a courtyard, what's the name of it? Plaza. We were in this Plaza de Mayor, and they had these big, there were like these like steel pillars.
¿Se habla español?
Un poco.
Okay.
They had these pillars, and when I was there, dude, it kind of came back. It was kind of wild, and I could talk like I was from España. It was so cool. I love accents. But so they had these like these stone or maybe steel pillars, and then he was like, "Do you guys know what these are for?" And then it was for their executions, and how they did that was they had a bolt, and they like strapped your head to it, and then they had a guy just like twist a bolt into your skull until you died, and we were all like wincing and shit. And he's like, "No, that's like the best way they could do it. It's like a really humane thing to do."
That makes sense to me, actually. Yeah.
But sometimes if the guy wasn't strong enough, they wouldn't kill you, and you'd just be there screaming in front of all your family, and it would be really embarrassing. So
Well, you're gonna die. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I mean, people say that it's like, oh, you're gonna die, but like,
I know you.
still.
I know you want a clean death. Yeah, I do get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? What's the worst way you think you could go out?
I think drowning kind of sucks. I don't think I want to drown too much.
No.
Honestly, I feel like burning would be pretty cool, just because like
Cool.
There's something like poetic
I think
about
it'd be hot.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
No, there's nothing like poetic about it for some reason. You know, like
I mean, you're a martyr.
like a phoenix type deal. You know.
Yeah.
Just you're down in flames. Also, you see all like these Buddhist monks who are like, what's that thing called? Self-immolation. So they light themselves on fire to see if they can like disconnect their body from like the pain they feel.
How does that go for them?
I mean, they die, but they got the message across.
I guess.
Yeah, they're like, hey, China, stop occupying Tibet. You know.
Yeah.
And like, but yeah, I think there's something beautiful about a fire burning to death. It'd be painful, but
I think that would be horrifying.
I don't know. Well, it's like,
Fire hurts so bad.
yeah, but it's just about, it's all the same at the end of the day. Like, it depends, like, it's all in your head, like pain. I feel like, look at these Buddhist monks and, like, you see, like, how they, thought about things. You're like, yeah, any pain is overcomable, but you got to master your mind first. It's like that type of stuff.
Yeah, I believe that. Like, there's like you can separate your mind and your body.
Yeah.
And I almost achieved it once on a run. Like a couple months ago, I was running, and I just remember, like, for the first time ever while running, I was like, I was able to just separate the physical pain and just acknowledge that it was there, but not be bothered by it. And then, like, 2 minutes later, I had the worst cramp of my entire life, and I just couldn't escape it. So it's like, in a certain capacity, sure, but I feel like there's a level where you go past it. Like, has any woman ever achieved the total separation of mind and body and then given birth and just, like, been completely chill?
I mean, I don't know that woman, but I want to put it out of the books.
I will find her and I will get her on the pod.
I don't think it's a common thing. Like, it's very easy to relate to our feelings in the immediate moment, But it depends, like, what you're trying to, like, some people are trying to feel, like, in the world, but some people are trying to, like, be rational in the world, So it's like, are you someone who, like, very much values, like, morality, or are you someone who, like, values, I don't know, intellectualism and, like, the rational? Like, what do you find yourself more
You're
in the
asking
camp
me
of?
personally?
Yeah.
I feel like on paper, I value rational, but then in person, I always crumble, turn into a moral little bitch.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, though. Like, I think we need.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like, it's better to be moral, cause.
Yeah, I'm a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying we're perfect, but
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
I'm glad.
You're
like,
sexist. I'm
yeah,
racist. Yeah.
exactly. Like, we need to feel things. We feel a certain way. So the only trouble we get into is when we don't, like, reflect on why we felt a certain way. Yeah, which is why you kind of need that rationale part of it all.
So do you spend a lot of time thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I read a good amount of books and I reflect on it.
No, I mean just like thinking, just like almost like meditating.
Oh yeah, I
You
meditate.
seem pretty mindful.
Yeah. Me and Aaron Klein, we talk about meditation pretty often because he does it every day. He's way more disciplined about it than me. But when I don't meditate, like, I just journal, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that the other day? Because I'm like I was, I'm in a relationship right now, and we hit the 6 month mark. And at that point, it's like, okay, like you have to answer some questions, you know. Like I love my girl, you know, but in the time I'm like, okay, why haven't I said I love you yet? And like it just became this whole thing about like, oh, why are we doing this and that? And it was like it was honestly it was a lot. So I had to start like reflecting on like who I am and like what I'm looking for like in life, and like how am I even like approaching those changes that I want. So sorry, it's like it took me there back to that real quick. But when when I was like reflecting, I was like reflecting like the past like 2 3 weeks since we like have our deep relationship talks, and it's like okay, when I'm like the difference between like a boy and like a man, um, like I feel like you know when you're chasing women, like that's it's not related to relationship part, but like when you're like chasing women, that feels like a very boyish thing, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
something boys do, or like you're a teenager.
It's juvenile.
Yeah, it's juvenile. Um, Whereas, you know, if you're 40 years old and you're still chasing women, you're like, what are you doing? You know, there's that Bill Burr joke like he did in his last special. He's like, hey man, I feel like if you're still trying to bang bras and you're 50, you're kind of missing out on a lot of life. You're missing like the whole point. So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, you know, being in a relationship is very different from like being single, because when you're single, you have this life and you're used to it. But when you enter a relationship or even marriage, like you're giving up your life for something else. And like that's why it's really hard for people to commit, because you're literally sacrificing your old life for a new one. And that's like it's terrifying. And I was like really thinking about that, and that like really scared me. So that was like one of the realizations I came to when me and my girlfriend were just like talking, and I'm like, oh, that's why I'm doing certain things, because I'm really afraid to grow up. I'm
But
like really afraid to like let go of the life I've known for like the past like 28 years.
but
Yeah.
you came to the determination that you are willing to do that.
Yeah, because it's like there's so much more out there that you wouldn't believe. Like in your wildest expectation, there's like so much more to life, but I'm stuck at this level, and I don't know what else there is out there, because I'm like, oh, I'm safe and I'm comfortable here, you know, because I think this is all there is. But there's so much more to that, you know. There's so much more to like a deeper connection with someone and like really trusting someone, and it's so scary to like get closer and closer to that. And then it's like I have like I pull away a lot in like relationships, and I was realizing this, and like I was just now I was just now starting to like notice that when I was like journaling, like in my mind. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is like that feeling, like sacrifice that really came into my mind a lot. It's like sacrifice, and that's what it means to like be a man, in like my opinion.
To sacrifice?
Yeah, you have to sacrifice something, you know. Especially if you want to be with someone. Oh yeah, you have to give up something to get that person, you know, and to have like a nice, more a good relationship with that person. So sorry, that got I didn't expect that got deep, but
Oh, that's okay.
yeah, that's just been on my mind. But it's like for me, that's like what manhood more is. Like you have to give up stuff to like you know get something in return. And I feel like that's the same way for like whatever you're pursuing, like in comedy. Like you're at this level for a reason, and it's just because I think comedians notoriously have low self-esteem. I think this is very much the case. And there's some comedians who like weaponize that. You know, they're like, oh yeah, hey, they're really good at networking. They want to be your friend. Like, yeah, yeah, yabba dabba dooba dabba. Big on Instagram or whatnot. But like the people who are not that way, they're like, it's because I don't believe in myself enough. You know. And they're like, and I see that more and more because I've been doing comedy for like 4 years, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm probably like in the latter camp, which there is like some sort of like low self esteem inside of me, which is preventing me from getting to the next level. Like, am I doing everything that I say I'm gonna do? You know, am I responding quick enough? Am I really giving it the best effort I know possible? And if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that exact same thought process.
Mhm.
First of all, I also think I'm in the latter group,
Yeah.
and like dancing, I just don't know how to break out of that.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I feel like everybody claims to be in the latter group, but then when it comes down to it, you realize that it's not true.
Mm.
It's very frustrating. Um, with the John, I saw a video about with John Mayer. You know John Mayer,
Yeah, a famous guitar. Well, one of the best guitar
one of the best
players
guitarists
ever.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, ever.
He was talking about how he got really, really fucked up. He got like super drunk one time and he made a complete fool of himself at like Drake's birthday party or something.
Yeah.
And then after that, he decided to get sober. And because he asked himself, he was like, you're here right now. And if you take away all of these handicaps, you don't even know where you could be,
Yep.
but you're going to be higher than this. And he was like, I just wanted to see where I could be and like what my actual potential is. And he was like, it's unbelievable. And so now I think about that constantly. And it's just like, am I not just with drugs and booze, but also just with like writing and time commitment and all of that stuff, and like thinking and streamlining my thinking and like optimizing like the process of like coming up with stuff and then rewriting it. It's like, am I actually, I really want this. I truly, really, really want this, but everybody wants it.
Yeah.
So am I actually doing enough, or am I just like cheating myself?
Yeah. Well, there's a weird thing in comedy or with art where it's like you shouldn't be. People think like good art comes from pain. I don't always believe that. I think it's you processing your pain is a lot of it's good art, but it's just like some people overdo it, and then at least for comedy they have nothing to write about. Or here's my theory on comedy. There's people. This is how I know if I like someone on stage. Is like there's people who go for the laugh, and there's people who are just trying to be themselves. And usually the people who are just trying to be themselves, they're not getting a lot of laughs, but that's always initial. Like if you give them in like 2 years, 3 years, you're gonna if you do this for 2, 3 years, or like if you're doing 8 mics a week and you keep doing consistently, like you're gonna get laughs. It's just a matter of time. But the hard part is to like be yourself.
Completely.
Yeah, and like I see people go for laughs, and I'm like, okay, I've heard that joke before. Yeah, that's not funny. Like you're getting laughs, but I'm like, I don't know if I would sit down and watch that. Yeah.
Can I watch an hour of that?
Yeah, can I
That's what
watch
I
an
always
hour of that?
think.
Absolutely.
Can
Yeah.
I watch an hour of that? That's what's expected. That's like the standard.
Yeah. And people even pigeonhole themselves. Like they find a voice which they like, but then like that's all they do the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like I was with Pancake, then we were watching Sam Morril at the Chicago Theater. Great joke writer. Every joke, yada, set up, punchline, banger, 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 banger. But it was that for 30 minutes. And it was good, but it's like he just kind of stood there the whole time with his mic. I'm like, this is like really good club comedy. But then his opener was Matteo Lane. I never seen Matteo Lane. I didn't know how flamboyant and out there, and he's just like showing his jokes, being physical, changing his voice. He's like literally just prancing up and down the giant stage in the auditorium. And I'm like, this is entertaining. Like this guy was meant for this stage, and it just like there was like a pop, like a pop in my mind. I'm like, oh, I kind of like that more.
Yeah, but then you're like, that's not Sam though. Like,
Yeah.
Sam's still being himself. I don't think
Yeah.
that's an authenticity thing. I think that's just like a fundamental difference in their
Yeah.
personalities, right?
I think it's about how you see yourself, and if you ever choose to limit yourself. I mean, yeah, there's nothing fine. It's fine, yeah. Like Attell is like one of the greatest of all times. He just sits on his stool and does things, and I'll always go watch Attell.
Tell's the best live stand-up I've ever watched
Oh
in
my
my
gosh.
entire life.
Oh
It
my-
was
yeah.
unfucking
Bam,
believable.
bam, bam. He literally speaks
Faster than that, dude.
He speaks in jokes. It's crazy.
Every fucking word he said was funny. It was
Yep.
it was just truly unbelievable.
Yep. But then it's like, yeah, that's Attell's thing. He mastered it. But I don't know. I like people who, I get when you find your thing, but just keep working at it till like beat it to death. But it's just like, oh, I like the variety too.
Joe List is a really good example, I think, of someone who's just really found their voice
Yeah.
on stage. He can we saw him at Zany's doing a special taping, but it was the final one, and he had sort of already gotten the footage he needed.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a weird show.
Yeah.
But it's so entertaining to watch him like flounder, because then you like really see who
I
he
love
is.
that. I love
Oh,
that so
dude,
much. I
it's-
love watching comics bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in like a hateful way, but just like I want to see
No,
how
I
they
know.
handle it.
I've been told a lot that
Yeah.
people enjoy watching me bomb.
No, that's why like that's when I first knew you were funny, honestly.
When you watch me bomb?
Yeah, because I think we're at Uptown Tap. You're probably like the last or second last to go.
It's my spot. I always go last.
Yeah, I think I was probably like one of three people in the audience that was watching you do your set, and then you were I forgot what you were talking. I think you were being serious about. I'm not sure if you were being serious or not, but you're like talking about your mom or something, or like it was something like pretty personal. And for some, you said a word some way, and then like I started laughing, and then you said, "Please stop. This is serious." And I just started laughing more and more because I'm like, "Oh yeah, I feel it. You know, I feel it." That's why I love like black comedians. Like when you go watch them, you just fucking feel it.
Just an energy.
Oh my god, yeah, I love it so much. Like get
Yeah.
you into it.
But then you're just towing it. Because there are some comics. I'm not saying this is just black comics, but there's
Yeah.
some comics where it's like they're all energy
Yeah,
and there's no substance to
I
it.
agree with that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it is a balance with like everything, but it's like, oh my gosh. I saw Corey Holcomb live, and I'm like, he says the craziest shit I've ever heard, but he's still moving around. Even he's 55. I'm pretty sure he was like half blind when he was doing this, because I'm at the Improv at Denver, so the manager was like telling me like stories about him that night. But he's still like moving around. He's picking up the mic stand. He's using his whole body. Then there's like a voice, you know. He's like, "Yeah, I believe you should slap a bitch," and I'm like, "Okay, but you feel it." And the same way,
I'll give
like,
him a chance.
like were you at the Ryan? I'm forgetting his name. Ryan.
Oliver.
No,
Oh.
Davidson. He passed away recently from
McKinnon.
cancer. Yeah, Ryan McKinnon. Like when Dan Soder came to that, like I literally, I was talking to Paul Miller. I was sitting beside him for it, but I'm like, dude, the way Dan Soder talks, like his voice, like wraps around the words. And I couldn't. I'm like, I was telling Paul, like, how does he do that? And I still don't know. That still boggles my mind. And like you just feel it. Every word he said, you just felt it. And I'm like, how is he doing that? And that just like really, it sticks with you, you know? It's like when you talk about Attell, every word was just funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, I saw Attell was the best. Oh, my camera just died. No space on the memory card. That's fine. We got the audio. Which is all that matters. I saw me and my friend. I was in New York visiting my buddies, and we last second got tickets to the Village Underground. And then while we were there, they were like, it was kind of like an okay room. Some people were bombing, which was weird because it was the VU. You're like, this is the best comics in the world.
Yeah.
And then they said we have a very special drop-in guest, and I turned my head and I see a bald head, and I was like, no fucking way. Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah.
For his SNL monologue. So he runs his SNL monologue. But Bill Burr went up on stage, and it was just, the room just felt off the entire night. Bill Burr went up on stage, and I'm not exaggerating. He was killing within the millisecond that he opened his mouth.
Yep.
It was fucking believable. And he's like yelling, and he's like leaning back on the mic, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Like, and just immediately you're like, I don't even know if I'm like understanding what he's saying, but
Yeah.
this is just, it's so, I just got chills thinking about it. It was
Oh
just,
my gosh.
it was just, something completely changed in the entire room where every single person had that hive mind thing where they're like, everything this fucking guy is saying is unbelievable.
Yep.
And it was just you're watching a master at work. It was so fucking,
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
Yeah, it's not even
It was
hearing
an energy shift.
Yeah, it's like it's not hearing, it's you feel it. It's like, oh my gosh, that feeling is so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw Sam Talent at the
I
Lodge.
love Sam. I love Sam.
He was at the Lodge on a show at Best Night Ever, and there
Yeah.
were only like 10 people in the room.
Oh, that's when
And I mean, this is the best environment to see a real comic.
Yeah.
And half the people are like German tourists, so they don't even speak that great of English. So everybody's not doing that well. Aaron Klein did pretty well.
Yeah.
But then Sam Talent comes on stage, and you just realize you're like, I'm not nervous for him.
Yeah.
For every other comic, you're kind of like, I hope that they do okay, even if you don't know them. Sam Talent, you're like, there's no hint of lack of control.
Yep.
It's just completely, he's a conductor. It was just so fucking, and he didn't do any set material.
Yep.
He just riffed the entire time, and he was fucking murdering.
gosh.
And he would go through these lulls where, and I say lull, it was like 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and then just immediately bring it back.
Yeah.
And then now when I watch comedy, it's like it, especially with like the top guys. I'm like, are they even capable of bombing? Like if Louis just talks enough, and I am convinced that this is true. If you have a premise and you just keep talking about it enough and wringing it out enough, eventually you'll get a laugh on that.
Yep.
And then if you just break through that one barrier, you can just start killing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis will do that. Louis will just, he'll take something and then he'll twist it and he'll twist it and he'll twist it. And it just keeps getting progressively more and more funny. And you're like,
Yep.
so you just have to keep going. Because we have like surface level intuition when it comes to like, how am I going to manipulate this idea? And then they just keep fucking going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're also like we're at open mic, so we don't get a lot
true.
of time. So they do have that. I think the more time you're able to do, then it just keeps expounding upon like interest, just compounding one after another, and it's like yeah. But Sam Talent, dude, what I started in Denver like comedy, so like I would see him. I probably seen him like 5 times now because he'll just drop in like randomly for a show, and the one I saw him at was Denver on Comedy Underground. Oh my gosh, I never seen. This was the first time seeing him like do a whole like 30 minutes. Went by like that. Didn't
That's
even
the
know.
other thing. You don't even think time
Yep.
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It does not exist. Then his imagery when he riffs is so crazy because there was a woman laughing in the audience and it was like it was kind of a strange laugh, but then he just pinpoints it to the T. He's like, you sound like a skeleton that's trapped in a coffin buried 10 feet underneath the soil. I'm like, oh my God. And like I just saw it perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, that level, it's just oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like
It is beautiful.
it's so and
It
that's
seems unattainable.
I know.
That's what's so
It's
fucked up
so-
about it. Is
oh
you see
my
it and you're like, I
gosh.
don't think I'm ever gonna fucking be able to do anything close to that.
Yeah, and like you do it and you're just like I'm not there.
No. Yeah, it's a real wake up call.
Yeah, so it's motivating though.
It's very motivating. You're like, I gotta fucking write,
Mhm.
get on stage right now.
Oh gosh, but yeah, there's something about it's just how it feels. Something about the feeling, you know. That's just what I keep going after, you know.
The wave.
The wave, dude.
Gonna ride the wave. Dude.
Yeah.
I've only ridden the wave a handful of times. I
Mhm.
don't know what the definition of riding the wave is for you.
Mm.
For me, it's where like I almost dissociate on stage, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm in flow.
Mhm.
This sounds so corny.
No, you're completely right. You're in the flow.
Yeah, where it's like I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. It's just happening.
Yeah.
And dude, there have been moments, and I say this is moments. I say like a handful of times out of 500 something sets that I've done. There have been a handful of times where I truly felt like I was like, no matter what I say next, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
It just, and it would.
Yep. Yep.
It was so fucking cool.
No, like I know the moments you're talking about. Like I feel like once the crowd gets in your rhythm, like it's just like, oh my gosh, like you really can't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you just have to like stay in that rhythm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very hard to get into that rhythm.
Oh yeah, get the audience on board with your rhythm.
I've also
Yeah.
had a bunch of times where I'm like, the wave's coming, and then
Yeah.
I'll fall off my fucking boogie board. Not even a surfboard.
Yeah.
I don't have the self-esteem to be on a surfboard, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty good at bailing.
Just stop bailing. See what happens.
No, I mean like I'm pretty good at inadvertently. Like I'll I'll be like I'm almost there, and then I'll say one thing, and it's just like record scratch. Everything comes to a screeching halt, and I'm like, fuck. It's like when you're having a pretty good set,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I'll do one more, and then that one just gets nothing, and you're like, well, there goes my good set. You know, it just completely ruins everything.
I don't feel that way about like mics or sets anymore.
Really?
Yeah, cause like I'm generally gonna do well. Like I just know that, and for me it's just about really feeling the audience and getting them on board with like what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cause I feel like I don't know. The most time I've ever done was like 30 minutes,
That's
and
insane, by the way.
it sucks because I do like set up punchline because like that's like I feel like I'm a very inefficient joke writer, so like I have a lot of like bad shit, like 98% of it's really bad, but then I just keep writing and I find it. But I've only done like 22 minutes that I was really proud of,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because I had them in my rhythm, and I felt the rhythm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can say anything. Like it really is that feeling, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a magic to it, and like it makes me feel warm inside. I don't know. There's something cool about it. So I brought that up for a reason. I forgot what it was. What were you saying?
Wave
Well, right after that.
falling off, bailing.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when you don't bail, then it's like, oh, you just when someone knows you're committed, you're gonna commit, then it's ease. There's ease in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the thing we were just talking about when I was talking about relationships. Once you commit, it's like, oh yeah, something else happens.
Yeah, totally. And you have to commit. You can't. People can see. There's like something intangible
Yes.
that all humans sort of have, where you can just tell if someone's committing or not. You can tell if they're fully being authentic or not. Which is why someone can say something super super fucked up,
Yep.
but you're okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why every single time someone gets upset about something that's said, that they think is offensive or whatever, I just want to be like, but you haven't heard Patrice O'Neill say that.
Yeah.
Because you would think it was fun. If you were in the room and Patrice O'Neill said that, you'd think it was funny.
Yeah.
It's not about the thing. I mean, of course, in some capacity it is about the thing, but it's like, who's saying it? When are they saying it? How are they saying it?
Mm-hmm.
And to forget about those nuances seems so childish and immature to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you truly want to communicate in a way that like you think is like efficient, you'd have to put away your biases, and you have to just like take stuff at face value, like for what it is.
Yeah. But you have to hold up your part of the agreement too.
What do you mean?
You can't if they're being invested in you, you have to be invested with them in a way. Like not even if they're gonna invest in you, you gotta be invested in yourself. Like with whatever you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, like you should be doubling down. Like you just say, "Oh, Damon, that's sexist." I'm like, "Yeah, and yeah, I'm okay with it. You just gotta be okay with whatever someone says to you and just like roll with it, you know, like I really don't like being called white, like especially like on the
Yeah, that
reservation,
makes sense.
like especially like on the reservation, like a thing they call you is
Ooh.
like a common a real insult is like apple. Someone calls you an apple
Uh-huh.
because that's like red on the outside, white on the inside.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's like don't. I'll tell you this because I'm gonna tell you like what I learned from it, but don't tell people this.
Should I cut this?
No, you can have it in there.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
just like I'm telling you, it's like don't say that and don't say.
Don't call people apples.
Well, don't call people Apple, but don't call people Eskimos in Alaska as well,
Okay.
because that means the N word, and for the Inuits.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you're gonna get your ass beat. So heads up.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing like there's like people don't really know, but like, that's how you get in trouble. And that's why.
Even referring to the kiss with the noses?
Oh yeah, don't say it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then it's like saying the N word kiss.
Duly noted. Holy
Oh yeah,
shit.
and like they're bigger up there too, so it's like,
Big
yeah, they got that Alaskan male whale meat inside of them.
Mm.
So, oh yeah, but yeah, I got called an apple, and like it really does like sting and everything. But at some point, you just got to like you have to like own it, and that's like the only way to like get past it is like to go through it. It's like, yeah, I'm an apple, but I still care about my people, I still care about my community. So it's like, get on my back, cause I'm fucking carry you.
Well, why are they saying you're an apple?
Just because you're different, cause for me, like, I'll be off the reservation. I go to like the schools in like Flagstaff or Mesa, but like, when a res school is very different from like an American school.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sadder. There's some sadness. There's sadness. Think of like, I guess the best way to understand it is like there's like the ghetto for like black people, like the hood and everything. The reservation is kind of similar to that. Yeah, there's like good parts of it too, but it's just like it's very quiet. It's very not a lot going on, and it's very sad. There's a lot of sadness about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying this because like I don't love the people there. Like I love the people there, but it's just like the education system is just not great. That's just the reality. So when people see you like that and they see you as like, oh no, you don't have to be here, there is some resentment, and I completely understand that. Yeah, because you get to leave.
Yeah.
You're only here for a summer.
You're not stuck.
Yeah, you're not stuck, and that's like Oh, dude, I was in Denver and I met this Navajo girl. I was at a mic or somewhere, and there was like 420 going on. I didn't know she was Navajo, but like the moment I found out she was Navajo, she wasn't a comic.
Was she a Navajo?
I don't think so, but
That was nice. That rhymed.
no, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. But
Sorry.
um,
Navajo.
but I found out she was Navajo, and I said, "Oh, I'm Navajo." Immediately, we just like clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all we needed. He was like, "I'm gonna take care of you. You're gonna take care of me." Yeah, and like literally with like 5 minutes, we were like holding hands.
Whoa.
Yeah, cause like and I started to tear up because when I drove her home and everything, just like cause she lived out in the boonies. I'm like, I have a car, it's not a big deal. And then she was just telling me like her greatest achievement in life was like not getting pregnant by 18,
Wow.
and she was like 23, and like I understood everything of like what she said, and I just it really it's just stuff like that like it hurts me because like it's like, oh, this is just a person, this is just a human,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want that, and it's like my people.
Yeah, you have a kinship.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean in Navajo we have like our own clans and everything too, so we weren't the same clan, but it's like, oh yeah, it's still my people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know, they're just like there's that like when you're in Senegal, the solidarity is like, oh, we get each other's experiences. And when you're from the same
Yeah, I think
background, it's like, oh, you just get each other even more. You don't even,
the experiences is the key.
yeah. So like again, she just said that was her greatest achievement, but in that words, I understood. I knew her whole life.
Totally.
I saw her whole life, and I just like I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I felt so there was guilt, there was just empathy, but there was just so many emotions welled up in me right there. So
I don't have that with. First of all, that's really cool.
yeah,
I don't have that with whiteys,
yeah.
with honks,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have that with younger people I meet that also have had a parent die. The moment we find that out about each other, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
we get each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody else, it's like this alien thing. They don't know how to address it. They don't know how to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet someone else that it's happened to, and you're like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
you're one of me. Like we can openly discuss how stupid this was, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's cool.
Yeah.
You can joke about it. I had an ex-girlfriend. Her dad died,
Mhm.
and my dad had already died, and we made so many dead dad jokes in that relationship. It was unbelievable. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My girlfriend, her dad just like passed away like in this past year. So that was I don't know my dad at all. Like he abandoned my family. I grew up with my mom and my older brother. So that was like yeah, it's I don't know. See, I'm still like recluse with my feelings when it comes to like father sometimes. So I'm like I don't always I don't have like a good grip on how I feel about it. So, but I'm glad when she was seeing her go through it. Like I don't know. It's just see, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now because I'm like I still don't even know how to feel about. I felt bad for her, but it's not always a perfect relationship with like someone. So and then she'd known him for like all her life. So I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think it's just yeah, a lot of emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So does what happened to you make you want to be a father or not?
I mean, I do want to have kids. Like that's something I just kind of always knew growing up. Yeah, cause there's that part you just want to say like I was buying groceries for like my family when I was like in high school. It's cause we didn't have like a lot of money like in the house, so I think there always is that need to like take care of people, and it's always in the back of my like it's always in the back of my mind because I am in a I was talking to Samir about this. Like you just have like so much gratitude for like being where you are because like where you were, and like you can't squander it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, you can't like appreciate it. Like you have to appreciate it. That's the real sin to like not appreciate where you are.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah, and there's so many people who's like, oh, I don't got this, I don't got that. That person, yada 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 yada, and it's like, man, you don't realize how good you have it right now, and it's so easy to forget that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell you one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Do you know the play, the trial of Judas Iscariot?
No.
You know who Judas is, though, right? He betrayed God, betrayed Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the background is like, this is like in Roman times, and like, the Jews were basically being lynched. Yeah, so like the Romans were like find them, lynch them, or like crucify them. And Jews were like, there are some rabbis they were allowed, but they're trying to like get rid of all the Jews, and they were talking. And then Judas was like Jesus's guy. They were like, hey man, we're in the rebellion together. This is my guy. Everyone loves Judas. Rome's gonna fall one day. But like Jesus is like, hey, I just want to promote my message. I'm just about helping people and everything. I'm not this rebellion leader or whatnot. But Judas is like, hey man, if I'm telling you, if you lead the pack, like people will follow. And Judas is like, I don't want that. And Jesus is like, hey man, just do what you got to do. And then Judas makes the move to like say, hey, I'm gonna tell the Romans where Jesus is. Because if they find Jesus, and if Jesus fights back, we'll all join in and we'll topple this Roman Empire. We'll have that uprising. So he does that. He tells the Roman guards to pick him up, but Jesus doesn't fight back. He lets them take him, and they crucify him. And Judas just sees his boy, the guy he's loved, he served for like as one of the disciples for like the past 4 years. He just sees his friend get like literally pinned to this cross and die, and he was responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the background for the play, and like there's like a court thing going on, and Judas is on trial. He's in heaven, but there's like they pull out witnesses and whatever, and he's found guilty by like the angel or whatever, but when the trial is over, he's just like sitting in his cell, like all like hands together, just disheveled, just looking down, like in this catatonic state. And Jesus comes up and approaches him, and Jesus just says, like, "Hey, man, I'm here for you." Then Judas recognizes the voice. Hasn't spoken all trial, but he recognizes the voice. He's like, "You left me. Why did you leave me? You abandoned me. I needed you, like you abandoned me." And Jesus is like, "Hey, man, I'm right here. I'm right here. I haven't abandoned you." Judas is like, "You abandoned me." But Jesus is like, "No, like, listen, man, Satan isn't real. Like, he's just in your mind. Like, I'm right here. Like, I love you. I'm telling you I love you." But Judas is just like so filled with guilt and like shame that he can't see that everything he has is right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because that guilt and shame is just so big inside of him. So it's like, oh gosh, it's just I think about that so often because I feel like humans act that way. Like we're so filled with our own pain or regret or whatever we have it that we don't realize like we're there's like love right in front of us, man. Like so I love that play a lot. So I'm like I just want to share that with you
Yeah.
because we were talking about I don't know. I feel like we got to a pretty deep side with like growing and everything, relationships and shit. So, but I really love that play for that reason because it's like, yeah, we're getting in our own way, and like there's people like the person who wants to forgive us, the person who loves us is literally in front of us.
You won't take it.
Yep. Oh, he won't take it, and he's right there. He's right there. Jesus is washing his feet, taking care of him, and he just can't see it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't. I, I mean, I like that message a lot. I don't know if necessarily for most people it's guilt or shame though. I think a lot of it is just negligence and um, lack of awareness.
Like ignorance. You're just
Yeah, there we go.
you're just not aware.
Yeah, you just don't know how bad it could be.
Yeah, I mean, it really takes reflection. Yeah, like reflection is a thing people really forget to do.
I was gonna say I don't think a ton of people truly reflect.
Yeah, it's scary because you're gonna find a lot of stuff you don't like.
I've given myself a couple of self therapy sessions where I just sit on this couch and I just stare at the wall for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
You meditate at all?
I don't meditate, but I'll sit and think for like 30 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stop my mind,
I can
which
see
I'm
that.
sure like everybody says.
No, I see it in your eyes. I genuinely see that.
Yeah. It's very hard to stop.
Yeah.
I can get into like a numb, like what you said, catatonic. I can get into like that, but I normally have to be inebriated to have that. And even then, it's sort of like, it's not. It's just like there's like a film over my thinking. It's not really stopping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what one of my fears is? You're talking about greatest fears, how you're gonna die. One of my fears living is like I don't feel anything.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, and I've grazed that probably like 3-4 times in my life where I just don't feel anything, and like that scared me so much. And I knew what it was. It's because like when you suppress so much emotions or you don't like say how you feel, or like if something bugs you and you don't express that or do something about it or articulate it, like it really does. You're kind of killing your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to like be like yeah, but fuck that motherfucker. You don't have to do that, but it's just like you got to
You
let
just
it
have to
out.
acknowledge it.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
acknowledge that you were hurt.
That hurt me.
You got to admit you were hurt and you're in pain.
Whenever I am, especially as of late, whenever I've been quote unquote in pain, because obviously, could be a lot worse. I'm being dramatic, but I'll just get really drunk, and then I'll just get like my entire body and my mind will just be completely numb, and then I'll just get so depressed at that feeling of being numb, and just disappointed in myself that I even needed to do that. And it was like I hate that. It never used to happen, but I will get this urge to just drink or get high. And every time I do it, and I'm like, why am I not letting myself feel things? Why am I blocking myself from experiencing necessary feelings? And it's never once made me happier when I do it, but I still have an inclination to do it because it's just this quick release.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
You're taking the Soma.
Soma?
Have you read Brave New World?
Aldous Huxley?
Yep, Aldous Huxley. You're taking the Soma, man.
What's the Soma? I don't remember.
Soma is that drug they take so that whenever they feel things, they feel happy.
Oh.
So they feel like sad anyway. It's like, hey, take this pill.
Yeah. That's the thing is like you need to experience bad stuff. You need to deal with it. You need to go through it.
Yeah.
This is corny, but my lacrosse coach, because when you're a lacrosse coach in college, you're not.
Oh, you were good.
I wasn't really that good.
I mean,
played
call it.
D3.
That's still pretty good. Yeah.
D3, but thank you.
Yeah.
But my coach, one of his tenets was like, I'm not just like, he wasn't just a coach. He was like a leader of all of us. And like a lot of being a great coach, I'd say like most of being a good coach is not how good your lacrosse IQ is and what your X's and O's, but it's like you're leading like men into battle and you're teaching them how to be men. And one of his things was adversity introduces a man to himself. And it's corny because it's like he taught us this. Obviously, it's overarching. It's not just about D3 lacrosse, but he taught us this in the context of lacrosse. As I said, obviously it's a broader, but I think about that so much. It's like I'm blocking myself from having the experience where I really get to see who I am, and instead I'm just like I'm putting it away and I'm not letting myself truly discover that, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you sad, the more you do it.
The more I do, like the
more you don't embrace it.
yeah, it's very counterintuitive.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. It's so illogical.
It's scary though.
It's irrational.
It's genuinely scary and fearful to like keep going forward.
I had the thought while I was drinking last weekend because I just did something really stupid that I deeply regret.
Yeah.
And it was a real low point for me. And I had the thought, I wish I could just drink myself to death right now. And then I laughed to myself. I was like, I don't even like alcohol.
Yeah.
I also don't want to die. What am I? Why am I even having? What am I doing right now? This is so stupid. But I actually had that thought where I was like, I wish I could just drink myself to death right now. And I journaled about it, and I wrote in my journal. I wrote the idea of drinking myself to death appeared romantic to me, and I hate that. especially the next day thinking about that when I sobered up. Not only am I like, that's stupid and irrational, but I'm also just like, I'm a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a child. That's such a childish, stupid, dumb, immature,
Mm-hmm.
fucking. You're not a man. What are you thinking? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to do that less. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. So it just made me. Well, I don't know how helpful this is, but also Judas also killed himself. So
Judas had it right, man.
yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's like shame sneaks up on you. Like,
Shame is good to a certain extent. I've had this debate. It's a philosophical debate. Is shame good? I think you need shame. If it weren't for shame, I'd walk around with my cock out saying the N word.
I think it's how we started this when we started talking. Is like there's an addiction to anxiety. You can have an addiction to shame, like too much of it.
Like the kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a it's actual kink. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I also think there's like there's a huge uptick in having a problem with you now, which I mean I definitely have succumbed to a certain extent. Where it's like popular to be mentally ill.
That's okay.
I don't think I'm mentally ill.
Well, people
but-
like diagnose themselves. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like very in right now. I mean, how many comics do we see that go up and they're like, "Oh, I'm autistic, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, all this stuff."
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I know everybody doesn't have this. And then even if you do, to what extent do you have it? And then if you have it, why are you talking about it in this medium? But that's not for me to say, you know, if it's cathartic for you or whatever, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like it's almost it's like trivialized it to a degree.
Yeah. I think you can confuse feelings with diagnoses. But it's also people don't really know how to handle their feelings. People don't know how to express their feelings or emotions because we're like we're taking the soma, and I don't want to go on this whole tirade about social media or whatever because just like it seems so obvious like that's an issue, but yeah, I think yeah, it's also just a part of growing up too. Yeah, like when I don't know, when I was in my teens or like early 20s, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely felt. I didn't know how I felt so much. Like I had so much emotions, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And that made me feel just very impulsive with like a lot of things. So I had like some relationships end or like just say the wrong thing or say the first thing that comes to my mind, which isn't wrong, but it's just like, oh, there's also, if you want to make relationships or connections with people, there's a respect thing there too. But the older I've gotten, like it does die down a bit, like the intensity of it all.
Mm.
So that's the good thing about getting older. Like a lot of you dies, like you lose hair or whatever. But also like there's not as much energy you have. And I'm not saying like I'm like, oh, I can't move around, like I'm very active and everything. But yeah, like some stuff like you some stuff is like going away. Like yeah, it's not as intense anymore. So I think that's definitely because sorry, how old are you?
24.
24. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really. Honestly, when I was in Denver for like 2 to 3 years. That's when I started stand up. To like 4 to 5 years ago, and when I was there, I was very anxious. I had a lot of emotions, and I was very impulsive. And I was working really hard at mics. Like I was probably doing like 15 a week for like just 2 years straight.
Damn.
And then I decided to move to Chicago. But when I came here, like the first 3 months I was here, I was just terribly depressed, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I'm like, and it's because like there was other parts of my life like I wasn't giving the attention that it needed. Like I really was not working on, you know, uh, things that made me healthy mentally or things that made me appreciate myself more. And yeah, it's a real thing. And I'm glad like fame is. I don't want to. If fame happens, I'm glad like it's not like immediate for me. Like I think there's a lot of luck involved with it too. But it's just like, yeah, people who get famous right away. That's so much, so soon that I don't think a lot of people really know how to handle it.
I don't think anybody does. There's no blueprint for that.
Yeah, and it's very like Chappelle's great because he knew how to handle fame, like he knew how to walk away. Eddie Murphy's really great because he blew up. Eddie Murphy blew up when he was 18.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. In stand up, oh my god. But like
Then he carried SNL.
he carried us
Younger than me.
Yeah. Then, but like you hear so many comics who like they have a drug problem, or they die young, and I don't even think it's even a comic thing. It's just like a fame thing that hits you so hard. It comes at you so quickly. You don't know how to process it or deal with it, and you don't reflect because you don't have time to reflect. Everyone's giving you this, and that, and you're like, I'm not really considering this other stuff that's happening to me. And you don't know to walk away.
Gotta know when to go.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'd be okay with never being famous. I can pretty confidently say that. I want to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't want to be famous. I want to be able to have complete anonymity. That's my dream. But then still be able to just like make a living off of comedy, go into a club, sell tickets.
I like the idea. Fame kind of correlates with stand up. It's like correlates to success. When I say fame, just like you're famous for a stand up. I think I want that.
Yeah.
I want to be famous for a stand up. It's like, oh no, you can just come and do a spot whenever. I'm like, I like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I would be okay with being. It'd be great to be a very well-known stand-up.
Yeah.
Because that would increase my chances of procreating with Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Shout out 22.
Shout out CC. Mm-hmm. I've got a fever.
I have a feeling you like do push-ups and you look at the poster when you do it.
Yeah. No, I do air squats over here.
Nice.
I do the push-ups in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Mark Norman's your favorite comic, I take it?
No. I did. I mean, I went to his special recording and I special taping at the Vic, and I got a signed poster, which is cool as fuck. But
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hang that up. You're
my
right.
favorite's probably. I mean, my favorite currently is Tosh. My favorite all time is Norm.
Mm-hmm.
But also that's like discount. That's just stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, I got into comedy because of Conan.
Oh, Conan
O'Brien.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For the longest time, I told people Conan was my favorite comedian of all time. I wanted to be a late night dude. I wanted to be the Tonight Show host. That was my dream. I had the comedy dreams of like a kid from the fucking 40s. It was so weird. I remember my uncle, who's a carpenter. He asked us he was like, my mom was like, Uncle Jordan can make you each something. So like ask him for something that he could make out of wood. And I was like, could you make me like a Tonight Show desk? And he was like, are you out of your fucking mind? Do you know how fucking huge that would be and expensive? And I was like, no, I have no idea. I have no concept of money. But yeah, my dream was to be, and it's kind of weird because my dream was to interview people, and now I have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's just essentially a long form, more authentic version of it instead of being like, what are you plugging?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're doing it.
So you've got this movie coming out in September. What is that about? Yeah. Yeah. Do you know who Craig Ferguson is?
Yeah, everyone knows Craig.
No, they don't.
What?
A lot of people don't know Craig. It's very upsetting.
It's a Scottish icon. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that you do, but a lot of people don't know who Craig Ferguson is, and
That's
it's
wild.
fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's like one of the smoothest people ever. Like,
have you seen his compilations of flirting with women?
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Unfucking real, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that's where why I brought that up is because Conan is like my comedy hero. Craig Ferguson is my flirting hero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so comfortable. Actually, do you know this? The guy who has like the record for like slept with like the most women ever is like pairing this actor guy from like the 50s. I forgot the number, but it's like it's like really this insane number. And they interviewed some of the women that he slept with, and then it was all kind of described in the same fashion. But this one woman said, "Yeah, talking to him was like just drinking 2 martinis.
Whoa.
It was just so relaxing."
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Well, this is really sad to admit, but I watched a video it was by this channel called Charisma on Command,
I heard of that. Yeah, yeah.
which I don't go to. I don't seek out, but
Yeah.
like the algo finds me.
Yeah.
And a big takeaway. I also have a list on my phone of the person I want to be, and I just keep. It's just a running list. I keep adding stuff to it, and for a pretty long time, I've wanted to be like charismatic. And the biggest thing I got from this one video is that charisma is not making you seem like the most interesting person in the room. It's making them feel like the most interesting person in the room. And that was a real aha moment for me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about them. It's about making them feel good. It's
Yeah.
not about me like putting on sunglasses and a leather jacket and being super sick. It's about me being like, and I can like see the difference in people's dispositions when you really show that you're interested in what they're saying, because it's kind of like what you were saying, where like people just don't give a shit generally. So then
Yeah.
when you do, they're like, oh my God, you care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a real thing. So I mean, we're community people. You know, we're hunter gatherers tribes like originally. So we belonged in groups, and it's just like I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like when we're young, we always want to fit in, but like immediately when we fit in, we want to stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We should probably,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to call it off.
do you have any closing messages?
I want to do a quick recap of what we talked about. I guess that's fun.
Shamanism.
Yeah.
And then what do you mean by a recap?
I don't know. Just thing that stuck out to your mind you really liked.
I mean, that was we went pretty. Let's put it this way. If that was the Amazon River, we went down a lot of tributaries.
Good word choice.
Thank you.
You're like you have a smartness to you. Yeah.
You have this illusion.
No, not illusion. Like you like there's it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, you too, dude. I've only seen you on stage. I'm not gonna lie. I was almost like halfway through the podcast. I was kind of like intimidated by how articulate you were, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, but well, I mean, I'll always talk to people who like talk to me or whatever. I don't really, you know, I'm honestly I'm just busy. Like, I kind of rush out of mics or I go in or I'm like writing because I just don't have like as much time as I used to. Because like you know,
I mean, you have a full job.
yeah,
so
I got the full job. Sometimes it's more than 40 hours.
That's insane.
I got the girlfriend. So I'm working on that relationship. I'm taking acting classes.
Damn,
So,
dude.
Yeah, it's then you just try to work out. I try to work out 3 times a week. So, yeah, I like to hang. I did that a lot more when I first started, but still, it's just like I got to make the most of like what I'm doing now, because there's so much more. There's stuff like that really I need in life. I want in life, So, hopefully, stay busy. Yeah.
Tired dog is a happy dog.
I don't know. It feels good having like a goal. Like I know what I'm working toward. If I don't know what I'm working toward, I definitely feel very sad.
Completely agree
Yeah,
with that.
like I do slip into that sadness.
I sometimes think about like, what if one day someone just said you can't do stand up anymore? I would just be like, well, I've built everything around this. So what the fuck am I gonna do? I would just like leave. You just wouldn't hear from me again.
Yeah.
I would just be around the world doing weird shit, getting good at guitar and snowboarding and.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that just like a ploy, like,
No,
like,
dude, I've become obsessed with the guitar over the past 3 months.
I know like 1 song, 2 songs on it, but
Do you want to play it? I literally just bought that.
is it tuned?
Yes,
Can I try a song?
absolutely. All right,
All right, that's a good way to end it. Yeah.
Also, I need to